Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt Lift Eat podcast, brought to you by Hunt Lift Eat Official on Instagram. Carter and Kerri back in the sticks once again. Nice Friday afternoon for us here, Kerri.
Yeah, man. Dig it. It's a beautiful day out here, too.
It looks like a beautiful day. I can only see the back of your house, but I can see the blue reflecting in your windows. And
we got to do it again, man. We did it, yesterday.
Do it again.
Yeah. Well, I got my dog out here with me.
There you go.
Look at that. Look at that valley out here.
Yeah, that's sick. You're kind of like awesome. You're like king of the castle out there. You're on the high ground.
I am, man. I am. I was out there ripping elk bugles down in my shed earlier, and there's some guy like working on like a hunting cabin, and like his hunting cabin's driveway and my gate are like connected. So basically, if I open my gate, he can't get in his driveway. And it's funny, man. I was out there ripping elk bugles, thinking I was alone. You know, and I can hear off like through the woods, I can hear a woman and a guy going, "What is that? Was that you?"
You need the Aztec death whistle. Just sit out there and just start freaking them out.
Yep.
Oh man, that'd be great.
That would do it, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So awesome episode coming up here today for all of our listeners here. We got Zach Spicher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
My man. All right, cool.
Appreciate you guys getting that right. A lot of people get it wrong, but
Zach Spicher, Echoes of the Hunt coming at us. And we're going to talk a little bit of hunting, talk a little bit of writing, talk a little bit of storytelling.
Absolutely.
So welcome to the podcast, man.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the time and everything, man. I'm excited to be here. Didn't expect to be on a Hunt Lift Eat podcast. I'll be honest with you.
Happy to have you, man. Happy to have
Thanks,
you.
Dude.
Yeah. How, Kerri, was it you? How did you get linked up with Zach? Because you put Zach on my radar.
Yeah. So Zach reached out to me a couple months ago, and kind of explained how he's an aspiring outdoor writer, and he's kind of showed me some of the stuff he's done, and told me what he likes to do is he likes to take people's stories and showcase them out for other people to see. Just regular old dudes, not like the Cam Hanes or the Aaron Snyders of the world, but like just regular down to earth people doing amazing things. And so in my extremely long career of hunting, just kidding. No, in my short career of hunting, I've gotten to do some cool stuff. And so, I ended up sharing with him my Alaskan guide story, and I gave him like a real quick, like small paragraph kind of description of what happened and some pictures and all that. And dude, he brought it to life. Like, man, like it brought me right back to like being in those blueberry fields next to those alder patches going, fuck, I got to fight my way through there, get to this bear, I was right back there in it. And so, after he had published, my story, I got to talking a little bit more, found out, about what he does for his day job and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, I got to bring you on the podcast, man. We got to talk about you. So,
Heck yeah. That's awesome. And I know you and I've connected too, Zach. I need to follow back up with you about my elk hunt. We talked about my elk hunt.
Dude,
and you doing something with that story, and that would be way cool. My lack of response is, a good answer to like how busy I am. And what you do is like kind of perfect for that, right?
Yeah, I'm not like constantly trying to get a story every single day. So like, cause we're all busy, and I understand that like social media is like kind of like just like a hobby of mine. And I'm not trying to make it like my day job. So when people just send me stories, like I give them like a tentative date. It's like, hey man, like, right now, like I gave someone a tentative date of like, hey, between like September 5th and 8th, I'll have it out because hunting season's coming up. So it's like whitetail's about to be full bloom, and it's just like we got to make sure that I'm not just focusing on writing the entire time. Because if I'm sitting there in the tree just like jamming away on a story and I look up and I'm like, oh no, there's my target buck, I'm screwed. So, but yeah, man, like I'm just a small little hobby, and I just enjoy the average Joe story. I'm not into chasing big names or anything. My wife, the first thing she told me when I started this, I told her, she was like, don't be a sellout. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? She was like, don't try to go after those people that have hundreds of thousands of followers to get their stories and share their stories. They've made it. She's like, go for the little man, the guys who only have like 15 followers, 20 followers or something. I was like, You know what? You're right. And honestly, I've connected with more people that way than any way else because they are more sincere. They're more thoughtful. Like the story I'm publishing tonight for this girl named Kaylee, her dad's the one that's like pushing me her story. And man, she has just been skyrocketing in her career as a huntress. And she just picked up the bow not too long ago. And she is just a warrior with that thing. And it's unbelievable to watch her grow. And it's just cool to watch other people's families grow too on these Instagram pages. So it's really fun to get to know them personally and just through these pages. That's why I enjoy most about it. So
yeah, for sure, man. It's what you do, and we're going to talk about all of it and dive in deep here in a second, but it's like one of the pros of many of the cons associated with social media. Like what you're doing is very much a good thing, right? And that's like awesome to see. And like, Kerri and I want to support that and highlight that, and other people should too, right? Because there's so much BS out there, and the competitiveness, and like even in the hunting world, it's just like a highlight reel of like, everybody's shooting 350-inch bulls. Like everybody's doing it. I'm like, why am I? You know what I mean? It's just like the comparison and all that stuff. Like,
and it doesn't matter. It could be a spike. It could be a doe. It doesn't matter. Like it's your trophy. Like I will literally do a story on a squirrel. I don't care. Like if it means that much to you, it means that much to me, and I'm gonna bring it back to life. Like it could be your first hunt with your granddad before he passed away or something like that, and that's just why it means so much to you. And I'm gonna bring that back to life, and that's my overall goal.
I love it, man. Well, let's start at the beginning, Zach. Let's learn a little bit about you before we talk about you as the writer. Right. What was it like growing up for you? Like, what was your relationship with the outdoors? Did you grow up in a hunting background or family?
Kinda. My dad, he's a Vietnam vet. He served in the Army in the Big Red One. And he wasn't much into the outdoors. We would go out there and just like mess around. We were more of like a fishing family on the Chattahoochee down in Georgia. And then my parents split up when I was about 8 years old. And it was just kind of rough growing up with the background that I had. I don't want to really get into that right now, but as time went on, I met my wife in high school, and her dad is the one that really introduced me into hunting. And ever since then, like it was more of like my senior year of high school, I've been in love with the outdoors. That was when I was 18. I'm 35 now. So it's ever since then, I've just been rocking and rolling in the outdoors. Started off with a rifle in my hand, and now I just can't go anywhere without my bow. Like that's like my bread and butter now. Like I started bow hunting in 2020. And ever since then, it's just been like, I was out in California, couldn't really get into it really big out there because I was an S&Y instructor for the Marine Corps. And then after that came to back to the East Coast. And ever since then, it's just been running and gunning with my bow and my buddies and just getting after it that way. So
that's awesome. So was your first hunt with your wife's dad?
Yeah. So not successful at all. I was sitting there. I was like, cool. It's dark as shit out. All right. Like I didn't know what to expect. And so like I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right. And of course, like iPhones weren't really around yet. They were just starting to trickle in and stuff, but I was just like, all right, I'm going to take a nap. I took a nap, and I remember looking over and I did see a deer, and I like just watched it. Didn't really think anything of it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to shoot it, but it took off. Didn't hit it. And then my father-in-law was like, so what'd you think? I was like, awesome. Saw a deer. He's like, why did you shoot? And I was like, up because I kind of zoned out. I fell asleep. He was like, of course you did. So we ended up going back home that night. I left for boot camp. And then when I came back, that was when I really started getting into the outdoors because I don't know. I just kind of like honed in on something that I really enjoyed and went down back to the hunting camp. And that was when I killed my first true buck. It was an 8-point. And this thing just walked around the corner. I just looked over at him and I was like, holy shit. Like this thing is huge. I've never expected it. But before I killed him, I had like multiple trail cams out. Like I had like the perfect analysis on him. I had like the moon that was out, the temperature, the time of day, the directions he was moving, the wind, everything. So like I kind of like game planned it, and I was like, you know what? I think he's gonna hit this stand tonight. So I went over there. About 30 minutes into it, he comes around the corner, and I see him. Put my rifle up. I fired, ran the bolt again really quick. Watched him, fired again. He's like 10 yards away at this point. I jump out of the stand. My feet hit the ground. I tumbled, and I like roll over real quick. Run the bolt again really quick. He's running to this thicket, and he turns around. I'm like, I have to spine him. So I spined him, ran the bolt again. I was like onto my last shot, and I'm like watching him. I'm walking up to him as he's taking his final breaths, and I just put my hand on him, and I was just so thankful for this moment because it's going to be something I will never forget. It was just unimaginable and never something I've never experienced before yet. And I just put my hand on him, and I was like, thank you so much for your life. Like, I am sorry I did this to you, but you are going to feed not just me, but my family. And I am going to remember this forever. Like, I was talking to an animal that has no idea what I'm saying, of course, but it's just like the thought process of like being so thankful for its life. And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's hard for people to understand that, especially people who live in the city. So it is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, like, it's not just about killing. It's about the pursuit. And it's something that I just grown to and just am very fond of now.
Yeah, it's the whole experience, man. Like squeezing the trigger, releasing that arrow, like that's just a brief moment of the hunt.
Yeah. They don't know what happens before. Like all the time built up to it. Like I was on deployment before I killed that deer. And so it was rough. Like all the crap that I went through in Afghan and then coming back and getting that deer was just like very monumental for me in my life at that point because all the crap that we went through. So, and I just remember embracing my father-in-law in a hug, and like I was teary-eyed, and he was too. And like he just looked at me, and he was like, "I'm proud of you, Zach." And like that hit me harder than ever. So, because I looked at him as a father figure. So, like, and I've learned so much from him, and he's learned from me as well. Like he's over the moon on how successful I become with just my page alone. I mean, it's nothing crazy right now, which I love, but it's just like I never expected it to go where it is now. So
what an awesome experience, man. And I think a lot of our listeners can resonate with that, right? That's like how that's what keeps us coming back. A lot of those aspects of that story, right? The thankfulness, right? When you pull the trigger or send that arrow, right? That is such a small part of the entire story, right? You said you had trail cams out and you had like history and like you obviously had intel that, you thought this buck was going to be there. Like you're thinking about this thing, right? Like laying in bed, thinking about, certain bucks and like certain stands and like the wind and the weather. And like, there's a lot to it, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's awesome. You got to share it with somebody you respect like that too. Kerri and I were just talking about how that's why he became jumped into the guiding game too. Cause like helping people learn how to hunt in a similar fashion, like reciprocating, right? Those who helped us, like, man, there's nothing more fulfilling than that.
Nope.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I'm at work, talking to some Marines, like there's like Gunny, like what do I need to do to get better at hunting? And it's like, dude, it just takes practice, takes time. It takes you getting out there and just scouting around, being in the woods, being by yourself and just trying to identify how nature truly moves and how it works. And one of them, his name's Murphy. He's probably one of the better instructors in the company, if not one of the best. He asked me that question. I just said, just get out there, dude. You just got to get out there. I'll take you out there. I'll show you what to look for, and I'll help you get your game going, man. And he was like, I would really appreciate that. So it's pretty cool to watch the influence that hunting has on people who are still trying to get into it, especially at a younger generation, because looking at my father-in-law's camp right now, like they're all older from like 60 to almost 80 years old. In 10 years, that hunting camp is going to be completely changed. And trying to pull in a younger generation now is more difficult than ever. And it's hard for the older heads to reach out, especially on social media, because no offense, they have a harder time connecting with the younger generation on the computer or on a phone. So it's a lot of them still like to use, like newspaper article ads or anything like that. But it is what it is, man. Yeah. So, and I want to be there for him and help him out and reach out to the younger generation to get people into his club. So it's just harder to do when I'm not in Georgia and I'm here in Virginia. So,
yeah. Where in Georgia is the club?
It's down it was in Barnesville. It's now down in near Talbot. It's like right outside of Talbot, Georgia. Yeah. So, but I love going there. The older dudes are hilarious. This guy named Larry Sproul. I love that guy. You walk in, you're expecting a hilarious story. So it's just,
you got to have that guy in camp.
Sure. Yeah. And he has everyone laughing. He's like, he knows how to run the tractor and everything. And he's like, oh, I got it. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. And he's always down there. And he's just an awesome dude. He's actually a veteran too. He served in Vietnam. He was in the Navy. He's a logistics guy. So he always says like, oh, I had it easy. It sucked. But there are times where it's like, I had to drive some general somewhere. And you know what? I always got into where I needed to go. And I'm like, that's awesome, dude. So he always weaseled his way into stuff. And it was just like, these are hilarious stories.
Heck yeah. So it's cool. Yeah. We have like enough of Kerri and I have talked to enough of really cool people that I have enough data to draw some correlational analysis here. Like those of you who were in the service and finding hunting as a fulfilling part of your life post service, right? It's not like that's a new thing, right? It's not a new concept. It's cool that it's generational. And it's also really cool because we talked to some cool people about like how healing that aspect of their life has become or fulfilling, right? The pursuit and the passion of that. Cause Kerri has a similar story about picking up hunting towards the end of his career. Right. And that's now become the passion of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's kind of funny, man, because we talk kind of that generational gap. You talk about the younger generation, then you talk about the older generation. And that's like the older generation you're talking about, man. And this just popped up as you were talking about it. That's like our grandparents' generation, right?
Yeah.
So like exactly. most Vietnam era, especially early in Vietnam, a lot of those they're more of our grandparents' age.
Yeah,
and
they are.
Yeah, and I notice a lot of like the guys in like my dad's generation. It's almost like they that's where the gap started, right? Like our parents' generation stopped hunting. They stopped going to the outdoors, like the 80s and like the early 90s. Like that kind of ended.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I wonder, and you see a lot of our age guys or a little bit younger getting really into hunting now. And I'm wondering if that's because you had the major conflict in Vietnam and you have the major conflict there in the GWAT. That's pushing guys to the outdoors for that healing that it provides. Maybe not understanding or knowing that's what they're doing, but I wonder if that's why. And then in our parents' generation, like we had Grenada, Panama, Desert Storm, all the stuff going on in South America, but it was all low-level conflicts for the most part, right? Desert Storm.
Not long-term, yeah.
Yeah. Most were low-level conflicts. And so I'm wondering if that's why. We had, 20 years of GWAT, and what was Vietnam, like 17 years, 18 years, something like that, just shy of what the GWAT ended up being.
Yeah, just about 20.
Yeah.
55 to 75, right? But not all direct.
Yeah, not all like on land conflict, but it's actually really a fascinating thing to talk about. Yeah, like I haven't really thought about it in that aspect because I remember thinking about that in a way where it's like, man, when does hunting really kick off for people and for the veteran community? Yeah, it's right after a conflict or right after they get out of the military. But it truly does pick up when guys are transitioning out of a war that they went through. Yeah, that's actually pretty solid point to stick to. Yeah, I kind of want to now. I kind of like really want to look into that. Now I got to go do some research tonight. Like how much whitetail was killed from this year to this year, and from this year to this year, and you can actually probably see the difference. But that's really
or the sales of you can probably track like sales of hunting license and things like that. Or new like hunter safety courses being taken and all that I don't know if they take age demographics of the hunter safety courses, but you can probably look at that some states.
That's a very good point. Yeah, that'd be really cool to look into and actually like show like how hunting has helped mental health for veterans.
Yeah.
Well, and before that, right? The generation before that, I don't know if you guys mentioned World War II before my phone very rudely went off. But right, that's when hunting, like the number of hunters in the nation post World War II were the highest comparatively, right? Percentage wise.
Yeah.
Right. Directly after that war, right? And talk about now, right? Still not phenomenal. I know how Kerri feels about the VA. Not phenomenal access to care and everything like that today, but compared to World War II, right? You got a lot more resources at your fingertips here. But the stable factor in all of that is the outdoors, right? There has always been that beauty, that nature out there to pursue and suffer and share experiences, and you know what I mean. That's
and that's that. I mean, you bring up a good point. Yes, we do have more resources now for the veteran that's dealing with PTSD, TBIs, and all these other issues that we're bringing back, like mental issues that we're bringing back from the wars. And after World War II, Korea, even Vietnam, they didn't have as much resource out there. It used to be called shell shock and all this other stuff. Like PTSD as documented, whatever studied thing wasn't really a thing. But just like then, a lot of the stuff that we have now, they still don't understand. They're missing the mark, right? They're not reaching the people the way they're supposed to be reaching them. They fight it with, they think I want to sit around and talk about my feelings or tell stories about whatever's bothering me and all that. Or they want to give you medication, and like they all miss the point. And so I think that guys are being drawn towards the outdoors because of that, right? They may not know it. It may not be like at the forefront of the mind, like this is why I'm going to the woods with a bow or a rifle in my hand. But I think that's a reason why, right? Because yes, the VA's got a lot of stuff out there. They're not awesome and they missed the mark. Yes, World War II, they didn't have a clue what they were doing, but we were all doing the same things after a major conflict. We were picking up a weapon. We were moving into the woods and becoming predators.
Yeah. And the other big thing that we as men have been told our entire lives is keep it to yourself, bottle it up. That's the absolute worst thing you can do. And I'm very glad that nowadays we're starting to finally open up and be like, no, you need to let someone know like you are hurting, because if you let someone know that you are hurting, that's going to allow you to heal. For me, I was on ship and I was contemplating killing myself because I was in those little coffin racks on ship, and I was just caught up in my own head from what I've gone through in Afghan and stuff. And I literally tied 2 45-pound weights to my ankles, and I was going to throw myself overboard. Then one of my Marines saw me, and he grabbed the entire squad. I was their squad leader, and they beat the shit out of me. And you know what? I still talk to them to this day. I thank them every single day for saving my life. And it was that moment where I was like, man, how selfish of me to bottle up what I was experiencing for 7 years and not share that with anybody. And I was suffering for it, and people knew I was, but I wasn't really talking about it. Right. And to finally get that out in the open, dude, it was like a weight was just lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to actually like walk with more, I don't want to say more pride, but just walk taller and just be able to just go about my day and not have to worry about it, knowing that there's someone I can talk to. And it's just something where I think we as men have a hard time understanding that it's okay to open up. And hunting has allowed that.
I think a lot of men don't know that they're hurting, right? Yeah. I think a lot of men don't understand what's happening. I think what it is like they know something's wrong, but they don't know what's wrong. Yeah. Like something is not right. I don't know what it is, but
we don't know how to express that.
Right. Right. But I think, and you found out kind of the hard way where it took you almost going through with an act and then getting your ass kicked. But like, you're not alone. We're all fucked, right? We've all got our fucking demons. Carter, who has not been in the military, has his own fucking demons. I don't know what they are. I know he does. So it's not just because you're in the military. But the biggest thing, man, is like talking to people, talking to the dudes, finding guys with common interest like we have here with Hunt Lift Eat with the hunting community, right? We have guys with a common interest, and I don't need to sit there and tell you about like the fucked up whatever war story that I experienced that maybe, like that's what bothers me. I don't need to tell you about that, but if I can just talk to you, open that dialogue, create that community, and just be a part of it, that's what's going to help people. That's what's going to save people. That's where I think a lot of like the VA behavioral health and things like that get it wrong. I want you to talk about that experience. And it's like, man, I don't need to talk about that experience. It fucking happened. What I need is to know I'm not alone, and I need to connect with fucking dudes that are the same as me or similar to me. Yeah.
And there's a lot of outfitters out there that are relating to the veteran community that are actually pulling them in and doing a lot of things for not just veterans, but people that do suffer from some type of trauma or PTSD, and is getting them out in the wilderness. And it is just incredible to see the outreach that it has. 4B Outfitters, like I wrote a quick story for one of his hunts, and man, he invited me out to go hunting out in Oklahoma, and I'm pumped to go, and I pay my dues and I'm ready to go. And November comes around, I am so pumped to go out there, and it's just the connection it makes with other people. It's unreal. And it's just, and it doesn't just apply to veterans as well. Like people that suffer from like addiction, like alcohol, stuff, and drugs. Like today there's I'm not going to say her name, but she came out and she's like, hey, 3 weeks sober today. Like, I'm super pumped and I'm happy and everything. And like, I immediately saw that and I replied to her. I was like, hey, I just want you to know the community is extremely proud of you. Like, keep going. Don't stop. Like, that's awesome. Keep it up. And a lot of people just work on the negatives these days and beat each other down. And I'm sick of it. And I want to change that narrative more than anything. So that's another reason why I am doing my page, is just to be that stepping stone for people that want to succeed and allow them to keep it going instead of falling backwards. So,
yeah, man, it's a great segue into kind of what you're doing. But like, one, I appreciate you sharing that on our podcast with us. I think that story will resonate with a lot of people, man. And the shared love of the outdoors, and just letting people know, like, hey, one, it's okay to reach out, and two, it's okay to like not be okay, right? It's not okay to like just bottle it up forever, right? You should be encouraged to let people know, right? And finding that community or that tribe or those individuals where you can do that.
100%.
That is a worthwhile pursuit. And you've created a place where people can now do that, right? Total strangers could like message you on Instagram, be like, like hear a podcast and be like, hey, Zach, this is what I have going on. I feel comfortable enough to like let you know what's up. Right. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. You've created a cool space. Like, not that it's just for people going through something, but like that could be an avenue of that. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also to just have conversations with people that just randomly open up about stuff. Like another one today, he's another Marine. He hit me up. He's like, hey man, can I get some advice? I'm like, absolutely, dude. And, he's just going through some stuff, and I gave him the advice that I had for him and just told him like, hey, you just got to keep your head up. Like, some people are emotional and some people are not. Some people handle things differently, and you handle this situation differently, and that's okay. Like, at the end of the day, you're doing what's best for not just you, but others around you. So just keep your head up high. And when you move on from this duty station, it's a fresh start. So, and he appreciated it. And it's, having that reach that's the biggest reward, is having people seek advice, not just to me, but to others as well. And then having that resource where it's like, hey, I don't know that answer, but I know a guy who does.
Yeah.
Let me reach out to him and I'll have him reach out to you.
Definitely.
And that's how it works. And a lot of people, they get the no answer and, or I don't know. And they just stop right there and they don't seek help, instead of actually someone stepping up and be like, hey, I don't know this, but I know someone who does. Let me get in contact with them and they're going to reach out to you. And then you just got to follow up with that person. Hey, did so-and-so reach out to you? Yeah, they did. Awesome, man. How'd it go? And just like, it's hard for the human being to stop being lazy, because we are naturally lazy, and to just push a little bit further. So that's that's how I've been like trying to change my outlook on life a lot, especially in the past few years. Once I had kids, man, like that changed the game. Like I had to, it ain't about me anymore. So that's where
laziness is not an option anymore. Yeah, I'm
absolutely. And of course, we're naturally lazy no matter what as men. So there are days where I'm just sitting there and everyone just stares at you. Get your ass up. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to, but it is what it is.
Yeah, one day, man. One day. That's cool, man. All right, tell us about the origin, man. I'm real curious. What inspired you to start Echoes of the Hunt? Was there a specific hunt or memory that sparked this whole thing? Was there a catalyst?
Yeah, so I started with Operations Bow Hunt, and I was just sitting there. I was like, "Oh, I want this to be about bow hunting." And then I like shared my story on my deer that I killed last year, and I was like, "You know what? This ain't it." And I was laying in bed talking to my wife, and she just goes like, "Well, open it up to everything." And she was like, "Maybe you could have like a fish Friday or something." And I was like, "I like that idea. Haven't gone that route yet." And then I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, what is something that can really like resonate? And I was just sitting there like coming up with names. And then for some reason, my first company I was with was Echo Company, the second LAR. And I was like, Echoes of the Hunt. And I was like, bam, that's it. And then I was like, that hit. And then I hit up a guy on Instagram. I was like, hey man, I need a logo for my page. And before he said anything, like I was like, this is what I was thinking. I was like an X with like a deer skull or an elk skull, a ram bear, a turkey or whatever. And he was like, dude, that's just a solid idea. And he came up with something, and that's the logo behind me that today. And like, I'm never changing that.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Matt actually added like the ripples behind it. It's like an echo, like a ripple in the water. And I was like, dude, that's sick. And I don't know. I think that the biggest thing that kind of hit me was like, if I have a story, I want other people to hear it. And I'm sure those people want their story shared as well. And I reached out to, by chance, Joe Mills. He was like one of my first stories. He's the founder of Osseo. And I asked him, I was like, hey man, can I share a story of yours? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And from that moment on, that's where I was like, this is my passion. Like, I want to share hunting stories. Not just bow hunting. It could be anything. And it's just taken off from there. Like I do a lot of reaching out. People like, I'll see like hunters like, hey man, I love your content. I would love to share it on my page. The biggest thing I put out there though is like, I am not one of those paid ad, I'm going to get you follower pages. Like those dudes are trash. Like I hate that. Like my goal in life is to bury those motherfuckers because they suck. They take advantage of people so much and I hate them. So like that's like my ultimate goal is like, oh, you remember that like hunting dot whatever over here, hunting dot viral? Yeah. Bye. Like they're out of business now. Screw them. That's like my goal, man. Like I hate that.
Dude, I got a message from one of those. Like today. And you're like, is this like some like dude on a phone in Russia? I'm trying to look for the message right now. So, like is this some bot or like is this someone in Iran? Like, what is this? Because you go to the page and it's like 200,000 followers and you're like, holy shit. And then it's like hunting dot whatever. I'm like, this is not real. I don't like this. This doesn't.
They like send the emoji of like a little leprechaun.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Send us this. Let me talk to you about my next steps. No, dog. Like every time I get like comments on there from like one of my stories I post, and they're like, send me this post. No, I just leave it. No, like people start doing like laughing emojis. I'm like, no, like get out of here, dude. Like no one cares.
Yeah, that's awesome. Walk us through your process, man. Your storytelling process. When somebody sends you a photo or a short write-up, what's your process for like polishing that story while keeping right? Like I teach U.S. history. We write a lot of essays. You want to keep the voice of whoever's writing authentic, right? Without sounding like a character or sterile, right? So how do you keep their voice intact? What's your process like?
So I kind of put myself in their shoes. Like someone who does hunt, that really helps. But I feel like I've always had like this creative, artsy mine growing up. So when I reach out to whoever I'm trying to get a story from, I have like a paragraph. I have that pre-saved. But I also add in like little things like, hey, your content is awesome. Like I'll add like personal notes in there, but like the beef and potatoes, I have that saved because it's just quite a bit. And then once they respond, you know, I talk to them normal, just try to get like their vibe, try to understand who they are. Like I want to know the biggest things I like to know is like, what was the time of year, just so that way I can understand like where you're at. It's like, okay, because I know if you're up north and like we'll say
geographically.
Like November, if you're in Michigan, I know the leaves are probably not on trees right now. It's probably really cold up there. Where in Georgia, it's probably still green on the trees. Like it's ridiculous. Right. So I try to like keep that in mind. And then I do the research as well on those areas based off of the time of year. So when I get the photos, the first thing I do is I write the story. And I start off like I just crunch it really quickly. I'll take it, go on to Word, and I just start writing. And basically all I'm doing is just adding more detail into their sentences. And that's the key thing. Adding in like as Mike steps off the last step from the ladder, feeling the leaves crunch beneath his boot, like just adding that little detail sends like shockwaves through the story. And it's just grabbing that reader's attention even more. And then once I finish the story, I come up with the title, and then the vibe of the story, I translate that into the reel I make. So, I mean, if you go on the page and you see the reels I make, I started off like kind of like mediocre, but of course I wanted to like work my way up. I didn't want to just go full blown on it, but I should have right off the rip. But it was a learning process for me too, because creating reels is very new to me. And I use like multiple platforms, and I just mash them all together, and it turns out to be like really unique. Cape Cut's amazing. Like I know a lot of people use it, and that has helped me significantly make reels. And then like as much as I hate TikTok, they do have a good platform for making reels. It's just like I had to like bend the knee on that one. I hate to say that. My wife looked at me, she's like, "You're scum," and I'm like, "Oh, I know." And so like I use that. Instagram, they just came out with a new platform, and it's not as great as it could be. I think over time it'll get better, but there's other platforms out there I use as well. So like I'll take bits and pieces from multiple platforms, I'll put them together. I actually talked to Arrows and Inches the other day. His name's Connor. He was like, dude, your reels are off the charts. Like, how do you do this? And I literally broke it down for him, like how I'm breaking it down for you guys. And he's like, dude, thank you so much. Like, I'm not going to gatekeep. That's
no gatekeeping here. Yeah.
That's stupid. And then that's what I do. Like I find out like, hey, what's your favorite color? What's your type of music you listen to? And then I like try to vibe that into the reel as well. And the reel is like, I like push that out in the morning so that like around 9 o'clock when people are mostly on, like trying to follow that algorithm. And I tag a lot of people. And for those that don't like me tagging you, I'm sorry. Like just tell me to stop and I'll stop. I've already had a few people telling me to stop. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. I don't care. Like, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and whatever. No hard feelings. Like I get it. It's annoying. And is it a little bit of a business? Sometimes, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to push out good content for good people. And it is what it is. So from there, I let the day go. I'll repost it on my the storyboard for Instagram about midday, so it keeps gaining that attention. And then at night, I drop the story. And when the individuals read it, and I remember one of them named Ty, he hit me up and he was like, dude, that brought me back, like tears running down his face. And I was like, dude, the fact that I'm able to do that for you means so much to me. And it's unimaginable to be there with them. And this is one way how I can actually kind of put myself in their shoes and see how they feel and what they felt in their hunt. And it's so cool just to listen to their story and listen to them afterwards and keeping in touch with people. And I've never met before. And it's just like, that's what I love. It's just like, it's like your family almost in a way. I mean, I got onto BD hunting team that way with Mike, and he hit me up. He's like, I want you on my team. And I was like, I'd love to be on your team, dude. And he and I have been like hitting the ground running together. He's got multiple people on the team, from this guy named Squatch, a guy named Frank, and just a bunch of other dudes that are just some pipe hitters out there in the woods. And it's just fun, dude. Like, I'm having a blast doing this, and it's really opened up a lot of doors and connections for me. And that's kind of took a different little route there. BD hunting, boondock hunting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. I enjoyed it. And like I said, it opened up the door with Osseo. Being part of them is pretty freaking sweet. Like, I'm enjoying it, man. And I'm not in this for money or fame or whatever people do with social media. I'm in it just to build connections and build people up. That's my overall goal.
Yeah, dude, that's what it is, man. It's all about creating community, cool people doing cool shit, man. Yeah, like I don't have much to do with Osseo, but a good buddy of mine's on the Osseo team, Justin Simon. He's been on our podcast a couple of times. But wait, just like that, Justin Simon.
Yeah, okay. I did a story for him.
Yeah. Great dude. Great dude. Yeah. But I mean, like that's what it's all about. It's like dudes doing good shit and then bringing that community together, man.
Absolutely. And it's so fun just to listen to people. Like, there's some people that reach out and they're like share me stories, and I'm like, I would love to share that story, but I just can't. It's not ethically moral. I'm not going to share that story. I appreciate the opportunity, man, but I'm sorry. Like, I've turned down a couple stories like that. They're just like,
good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've received death threats as well, and especially from like the people.
You've made it.
I'm like, all right. Like, yeah, I made it. Like,
you're doing it right.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, so you want me to die because I'm sharing a story? Awesome, great, cool, great,
awesome.
Yeah, it's just funny, man. And this has actually brought me closer to God. I'll be honest. Like, I grew up as just like a believer, but I wasn't like really like into God. And then finally, I met my wife now. She was like my high school sweetheart, basically, and like ever since then, like her dad has really helped me figure out where I wanted to go in life. But hunting has just allowed me to be out in the woods by myself and just pray, think, and just truly understand the meaning of life with God. So that's what I really love about it.
Yeah. What a blessing, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Same here, man. I actually went to a church for the first time in probably over 20 years last Sunday. But this whole hunting experience, we talked about it on a podcast that we actually talked about my story. I was not a Christian of any way, shape, or form. But because of hunting, the community that it got me to be a part of and everything else that came with it, like I have found my way back to God. So I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah, man. And it's amazing. And there are people that are still lost out there. And like, I will never give up on them. And for other people that are struggling and have a hard time understanding why God allows things to happen, but we also got to understand, like, God allows free will. So it's like, he's not controlling us. So some people do evil things, and that's how it is. And they are just turned the other way. And it's up to us to change that. And I hope through my writings and everything like that, and through this community that we're kind of building up together, it just allows for people to see the other side of what good truly does. So,
yeah. Speaking of your writings, man, do you have any like inspirations for your writing style? You're good at writing, right? And all I know about your previous life is like you were in the Marine Corps. I don't know if you were a writer in the Marine Corps. I doubt it, right?
And,
but like,
well, that's right there is probably the most like just fascinating part of this whole podcast is Zach is a writer and he's a Marine infantryman. Like, holy fuck, like that doesn't ever happen.
Well, so being in the infantry, and especially being in a leadership position, you do have to write a lot when it comes to writing orders, getting ready for missions and stuff like that. You're briefing not just your guys, but you're also briefing higher ups when you get to a certain rank. But I would say I found it's kind of funny. I found my true love in writing when I went to college. So I went to American Military University and got my degree in Homeland Security. And my God, if I had to write another essay again, I would throw my computer through a freaking wall. Like, I am so done writing essays. But my capstone essay was like 50 something pages. And of course, it's going to be double spaced and all this crap. And you're just like, come on.
Yeah.
And I know my professor didn't even read it because I submitted it an hour later. I had a grade. And I was like, it's like, cool. Great. But
that's my alma mater.
Yeah. That's where I think I found my true love in writing, because like it kind of captivated me. I was like starting to write, and like I think the biggest one is what Kerri and I were talking about before we went live. We were talking about the difference between the white fuzz and the green when it comes to night vision goggles and stuff, night vision devices. I had to write a story on not a story, but like a research paper on how pilots had to switch from green to white phos, because green phos is just, it's so bad for your eyes. It just destroyed their color vision. It destroyed their vision over time. They got eye fatigue. And like, I just went down a rabbit hole, and my professor, it was like my second class, he read that. And he was like, dude, this is like really good writing. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, just read it. And I was like, okay. So I like sat there and I read it, and I was like, oh, all right, I got something here. I think I found my niche. All right. Yeah. I think I'll make something out of this. And that was when I was in California, and I was like busy with work and stuff. I sometimes come off retarded anyways when I write, when I'm talking to people. Yeah. So when people look at me and listen to me, it's like, man, you definitely don't write how you speak. And I'm like, oh, I know. Trust me. I'm special.
Well aware.
Yeah.
That's
some
funny,
of my buddies will just look at me and they're like, dude, you're freaking half retarded, and you are somehow able to write this. Like, get the heck out of here, dude.
I'm the same way, man. So not only was I an infantryman, but I was an 18 Bravo. And if you're familiar with 18 Bravo, like they're the dumbasses of the soft world, right? Like Bravo Smash is like our thing. But yeah, I didn't realize I was good at writing, but you remember that dog I showed you when I brought home from Iraq?
Yeah.
So I'm in our team house, and I'm writing these letters to all these charity organizations that help rescue dogs. And so I wrote this big long thing talking about like basically my dog and why I need help bringing her home. And I had my team read it, and they're like, who the fuck wrote this? Like, you didn't write this. There's no way you wrote this.
Dude, when you're passionate about something, it just changes your mindset on everything, and it changes the way how you think, and you can just come out with the most craziest stuff on paper. Like,
yeah,
I watched some kid draw this picture, and he's like, I've never drawn a day in my life, but he's high on shrooms, but he was like, I'm high on shrooms right now, and I'm just going to draw. And he just drew this amazing portrait. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. He's like, I know. And it's a rock. And it was a picture of a freaking rock. It just looks so good. I was like, dude, that looks like a real rock. But it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
When you got it, man.
Yeah, dude, he had it. He found it. And after that, like, he's just been on a rampage, just drawing nonstop. So
that's cool, man. So it just fell into your lap, and you just decided to pursue it.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, I'm glad. It really didn't hit until truly this year when I started my page. I was like, I want to run this. I want to do this. And my wife has supported me since, and she's like, do it. She's like, you're crushing it. And there are times where I'm just like, I don't want to write a story tonight. She's like, stop it. You're going to do it. And I was like, okay.
All right.
So
good accountability.
Yeah, she's been my rock. She's been really helping me with staying on track. Like, but I got a cold this week, and I was like, I am taking a break from today. Like, I came home the other night. I smashed half a bottle of Mucinex, NyQuil, and Benadryl, and I was like, I'm here to party. And I went right to bed, and I slept for like 24 hours, and I had to get up, and I had to go do a night shoot with my guys. And I was like, this sucks. Like, I was just sitting there. They went and got some jersey subs and stuff, and they brought it all back. And I'm just like on the bench, just like, I am so done. But our students, the majority of our students, all of them but two, passed their quals, and that's all that matters. And we had a good time.
There you go. Heck yeah, dude. So are you working on these? Like, is this an every night kind of thing, or do you have some sort of balance or boundaries every night? Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that out. So when I put the kids to bed, I'll put one of my kids to bed, and I like go and sit in a chair in like the corner of their room to like kind of let him like at ease a little bit. And while I'm there, that's when I'm like putting all the photos and the reel together. And then when I come back downstairs, my wife's either reading her book or she's watching something on TV or she's just relaxing, I hop on my phone and I start jamming away on my notes and I start going on there. There are times where I'll just pull up my computer because I can type faster with multiple fingers rather than just thumbs and go that way. But yeah, there are times where I'm just like, I'll hit a wall too. And I'm just like, man, this sucks. And I'll have to shelf that story and I'll have to pull another one up that's just like, oh, I got this one.
Yeah.
And I apologize if that offends anybody, but it's just like, that's just how it goes, man, in the writer's world. And if you're a writer out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it sucks.
And you obviously find it somewhat fulfilling, right? Otherwise you wouldn't do it anymore. So why is it important for hunters why does storytelling matter, right? Why do you think it's important for hunters to document these stories like this?
One is to captivate the younger generation and bring them into the hunting world, the hunting community. And another thing is when people get older, there's a guy down the street from my house. I think he's got Alzheimer's, and it's just like, it's so sad. But if you're able to pull out these stories one day of them hunting or doing whatever it is, it's going to help them realize something, and they might come lucid for a few minutes of time.
Yeah.
Just bring them back. But the ultimate thing is just, I want my kids to see something that I've done that they can look back on and be like, that was my dad. Yeah. He did that. And I want them to take that to their children and help them grow and learn. So that's my ultimate goal with that.
Have you had anybody ask you like, hey dude, can you do the story as like a gift to my friend or my dad? Or like I'm thinking like this would be a cool like Christmas gift to like my buddy Cole on like his first archery buck or like whatever. Like
actually
well, you can't surprise Cole because he's the producer and he's going to hear this. So
hey Cole, edit that out.
Yeah, man. I think it was there was a father-son story. No, actually, sorry. It's the story that I'm doing tonight. I did her first buck story. Her dad wanted me to do it for her as like a surprise for her. So nice. That's one of them. And I know there's another one. It was a father and son duo who did a turkey hunt together, and they both got toms on their first time together. So that was really cool to write for them. And it was like kind of like a surprise for his dad. So he was like,
"That's a fiction book because turkeys aren't real."
Hey, if they could smell you, you're not seeing them, man. Screw those things.
Yeah, for real. That's cool. I think that's anybody listening, I think that would be a great gift for somebody, a hunting buddy or, family member or whatever. Like what a cool way to memorialize. Cause like I take a zillion pictures cause my memory is garbage. I've had too many concussions and I have sleep apnea and I literally can't remember anything. So I take pictures and videos like crazy on every hunt for the same thing. Like I like to show my kids, and like, for me, I like to go back and remember like, oh yeah, I forgot about whatever that blizzard that afternoon or whatever. But like,
that was yesterday. Oh
yeah. But like, oh, man, there's something about like reading the written words of a story, man, that is just so powerful.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people are forgetting that reading really helps you open up your mind and helps you be able to critically think nowadays. Because you have 15 seconds to catch someone's attention. After that, if you don't have their attention, you're not going to get it. So it's when I open up a book and I immediately read it, I always give myself, all right, I'm going to read the first 5 chapters. If I don't like it after that, then I'll shelf it and move on to the next book. But if it's like one chapter in, you're like, every book starts off slow. That's just how it is. So you got to give it some time. And that's how a lot of people, I want to encourage them to like stop getting that TikTok brain, as we call it these days, or brain rot. Like actually take the time and look into something and research it. Don't just go off of what you see for 15 seconds and consider that gospel.
It's true, man. We are training our brains as a species to have this short-term memory, because you get that immediate dopamine hit every time you're scrolling through something. These kids, you talk about the younger generation, man, these kids don't read. They don't have the attention span for it, and they don't have the stamina. They don't have any academic stamina anymore. It's gone, right? Everything,
especially as you seeing it as a teacher.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, I have to like put on a freaking dog and pony show every day in class to keep the attention of these kids for 65 minutes. Right. Cause their currency is 5-second videos. You know what I mean? That is the social currency. So it's tough, man. But that's why I like your stories are a good length too. Right. It's not a novel.
That's what I try to keep it at least 2,200 characters. I try to hit the max post on Instagram, but I know if I go past that, sometimes it's just like, okay, this is just really drawn out. Like, we get it. He's going to kill the deer. But like, if I can just keep it just that little bit more creative and just that little bit more influential, I just hope it grabs that reader's attention and they stay to it and just read it and share it.
Have you thought about putting them all on a blog, like all on one place where you can scroll through?
Actually, I've thought about publishing a book, like having like volumes.
Yeah.
Like having volumes, like volume 1 being like the first like 200 stories, volume 2 being the next 200. Like, I've thought about that, but I will be honest, I have no idea where to start on that. I have to research that. I need to find a publisher. I need to find all the laws that go into this. If I am sharing somebody else's like story publicly on social media, can I then take that and put it into a book? Like, I don't know the rules about it. I just need to find someone who's very knowledgeable in that realm and school me up on it, honestly. But that's something I would really love to do. And it'd be cool to see those on a bookshelf someday of just short stories. Because I know a lot of people really enjoy reading short stories nowadays. So
hell yeah,
it's
dude.
just one after another. Like, there's a book called Hogs in the Shadows. It's about snipers from the Iraq and Afghan war. And it's just like very quick, short stories of snipers and stuff like that. And that captivated me. And like, that's where I kind of got the idea of like, oh, that'd be cool if I could do that. So,
I will buy one and that'll be on my coffee table. I think that's a great idea.
Thanks, man. Maybe we'll have a listener that knows how to do all that stuff.
That'd be dope. That would be a blessing, man.
I'd start with asking ChatGPT. That's what I would do. I got that written down, by the way. Any challenges of your outdoor writing now that ChatGPT exists, right? Is that like these,
I've had multiple people ask me that. I would like to try to stay away from ChatGPT as much as possible. One, because it takes away your creative thinking. And it definitely takes away your ability to critically think and overcome something. So I will use Grammarly to help me when it comes to just errors and stuff like that, mistakes, because I do have fat fingers and I might miss something, or I might misspell a word, or I might have to go into the thesaurus and pick out a different word for a certain word just because. And I try to stay in that realm. ChatGPT, don't get me wrong, I think that's an amazing tool to use. But I think it's something that people should probably strive to stay away from, just because it's going to take away your ability to critically think moreover than anything.
For sure. It's a tool in the toolbox, man. And
it is.
I can tell when my students turn in an essay that is ChatGPT, because you lose the authenticity, right? You lose, which is what your brand is all about, right? And we can recognize that because that's what we try to base Hunt Lift Eat all about. Like, growing organically and authentically is absolutely the best way to do it, rather than going for the easy button wherever you can, because there's plenty of those examples out there.
Yeah, especially for kids at my age right now. Like, we just started growing, like our own vegetables this year and fruit and whatnot, and just having legit organic food is like a start for them. But then trying to teach them being organically savvy when it comes to problem solving instead of taking the easy button, dude, it goes so far. And you could just see, like, I'm not trying to say my kids are the smartest in the world. Yeah. But when I compare mine to another kid and I'm watching them, I'm like, nice. Yeah, you sit behind a tablet 24/7. My kid's outside picking at bugs and picking up lizards and trying to dissect them right there. And it's just like, they want to learn. And I love it. Like, literally before we picked up this podcast today, my kid comes in, Dad, look, I caught a lizard. I'm like, all right, put it back in the sunroom, dude. It can't come inside. He's just like, all right.
Great work.
Yeah. And it's just like, this is awesome, dude. Like, all right, Bear, good job, buddy. Go on out there. It's just so fun to watch how intrigued they are by every little thing outside.
For sure, man. That's awesome. Well, cool, Zach. We're rolling up on an hour here, man, but I definitely wanted to be sure to ask you, what any goals that you have for Echoes of the Hunt. Where do you see this project going in the future?
Like I said, I hope one day my goal is not to make money off of this. My goal is just to build a community that allows hunters to come together, share great stories, and work through problems together as conservation. But I would say the biggest goal I would have is to reach those that are struggling with anything, and let my page be a place where they could come find solace and just chill and read and talk and just connect with other people for their mental health as well. So I know I don't publish that a lot on my page, but I just want people to know, like, that's where they can come. And if they need someone to talk to, I can help them or help connect them with someone. That's my overall goal.
Hell yeah, man. Kerri, you got any closing thoughts, man?
No, man, this was awesome. Definitely check out Echoes of the Hunt. And you've got a cool story. Like, he's the dude that's going to make it even cooler.
Yeah.
I appreciate the time, guys. I really do. This was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we appreciate you and jumping on here, man, and appreciate what you're doing to memorialize people's hunts, and hope all of our listeners go check out Echoes of the Hunt on Instagram. And I hope you get a gazillion DMs from our people asking them to.
I hope so, man. That'd be dope. Yeah, just build that community up.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate it, man. And listeners, appreciate the hell out of you guys.